Welcome again to tonight. Just to clarify, so I was talking about frameworks. So in business, you always want to be doing frameworks, especially when you do presentation, pitch, sales, marketing. Once you have framework structures to work in, it makes everything easier. It's just to plug in those spots, all right? So the framework I'm redoing my pitch, my presentation tonight with is called Capstone. So I'm going to clarify who am I, introduce who I am, then I'm problem I'm solving, the solution I'm problem, the why I'm doing this, the objections that you're going to be facing, why people want to do it, the next steps, and finally we're going to finish off with a nice ending of why this stuff is really important. Then we go into a Q&A, and that's going to be the presentation, right? Hopefully we get this done in 45 minutes. Again, thanks for taking time on your Sunday night. If you're a combat athlete, as I was saying, I wish when I came up with this concept, I was thinking of what I can give back and what's the best thing I can give back to athletes. And the number one thing I wish I had throughout my career, that would have helped me along the way. And if someone had shown me, yo, it's going to be a financial freaking struggle, right? But there is a better way to do this, right? If you just had business knowledge, business and structures properly, you can make so much more money with a lot less stress, heartache while doing something you love. Like, this is it, man. So if you're a competitive combat athlete, so by the way, so if you're competitive, just to clarify why we're here tonight, this is for competitive combat athletes or recreation, right? I've had Andre Stevens was one of my recreation athletes. He eventually left his job as a mechanic to do combat sports training and become a pad holder because he's making a lot more money doing this, right? So to clarify why we're here tonight, guys, it's to help combat sport athletes, all right, pursue their goal or their dream wholeheartedly without ever having to worry about finances. So you're working the least amount of hours for the most amount of money, all right, to give you time back in training, all right? So at the end of the day, the more time you spend training, time in is progress out, as the old timer said, to give you time back in training, to get better, to eventually be a champion, all right? So specifically for people who are, all right, want to be champion in goals and love martial arts, love combat sports, whether it's wrestling, jiu-jitsu, boxing, judo, BJJ, any of the main combat, any of the efficient ones. I'm not talking about Tai Chi or one of those things, right? Like real legit combat sports. You guys know what I mean, right? All right, so who am I? So the next step of this presentation, who am I? I'm Dwayne Hinds, Coach Dwayne. You guys probably know me as Old Timer on through my reels, to my Instagram page. Retired with a 10-1 pro record with ONE FC, the second largest MMA second largest mixed martial arts promotion in the world. I retired as number 4 ranked welterweight in my in my division. All right, so it's pretty high up there, right? Not too many people, less than 1% of all fighters can say they accomplished. I was also multiple-time Pan American Sambo champion. I was a boxing national champion, judo national champion, regional BJJ champion, wrestling district champion in the U.S. So in terms of accomplishments in totality across the board of different combat sports, there's less than 1% of the world can say they achieved or accomplished more than me. All right, and in terms of competitive combat sports, I'm not bragging. I'm just trying to show that I'm legit. I'm not just some idiot up here who thinks I'm trying to sell you something, right? Like, I know the ropes. I've gone through it with multiple sports. I've been in combat sports for 26 years. All right. Currently, I own 2 gyms. I own my gym in Canada, small studio gym here, and I'm a part owner of a gym in Trinidad. All right, and so. And I'm living the dream, what I consider the dream, right? I get to come to work, do what I do every day, look with people I love, something I'm passionate about, share my knowledge, make a very good living, providing for my family. Teaching martial arts, who would have thought, right? You told me 10 years ago 8 years ago when I retired, that I would have been where I am today. I wouldn't have thought I would have been as successful as I am. But I'm gritty, I'm grindy, and I'm willing to learn. And once you learn business, it's just to transition your skill sets into business, plug it in, and you're good to go. So that's what I'm going to try and be teaching you guys now, all right? How I was able to do this, all right? So the problem we're solving, as they say, combat sport is a poor man's sport, right? Guys, I'm passionate about this. I love this game, all right? But the truth is, for 97% of you, all right, for me, for all of us, all right, you're not going to make it. You're not going to get to a point in your career and competition where you're making enough money to survive. Almost for 97% of us, the entire time, we're going to have to work, all right? Guys, I was ranked number 4 ranked welterweight in ONE FC, second largest MMA promotion in the world. And you know what you're getting paid for a fight? $10,000. You know what I mean? Like, you can't live with that's how much it costs for a fight camp, right? So the game doesn't pay, right? Like, but there's passion and there's ways to get paid. That's what we're going to go into today, right? And like the top 3, all right, the champs, all right, they get it, right? So like your George St. Pierre's, your Kamaru Usman's, right? But for every one of those, I mean, there's thousands of others who just went through the ropes, loved it, was a skill to them, passion to them, but all the stars need to align for you to make it to the top, tippy top, where you like you can just rock back and just like fight full time without ever having to worry about finances, right? That's the honest truth, guys. I'm not doing this because I want you to sell you or anything. I'm just being completely honest with you guys, right? For another 95%, all right, fighters, financial struggle, even after you leave the sport, right? It's going to be your number 1 problem. You're going to have to completely leave the sport and do something else. You're not going to be able to make a living, right, just teaching martial arts and being a coach and trainer for 95%. Even if people open a gym within the first 3-5 years, most gyms close down. All right, that's just being the honest truth. All right, so again, this is the number 1 problem. The number 1 problem that most combat athletes are going to face is financial struggles, and is the number 1 reason why eventually most of us leave this sport, all right, and just become recreational athletes, or just and can't make a career out of this, can't make enough paying out of this, right? So what I've been talking about, so injuries, time, that's second, right? That's not even third. Like the number 1 reason why most of us leave the game is because we just can't support ourselves enough, and eventually we just got to work to provide for ourselves, and eventually we want to start families, and most people just fade away, right? All right, and there's 3 stages to this, right? There's the beginner fighter, all right, start off in their teens, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, and they're still living at home, so they don't have to pay rent or overheads, all right? And eventually that time runs out, all right? And your parents are going to support you forever. You're going to have to start providing for yourself. You're going to start paying for gears, training, and you get 22, 23, and you're realizing, wait, I'm fighting. I'm 2-0, 3-0, 4-0, but I'm just not getting paid enough. They have to get a job, right? And then that's it for a lot of them, all right? And that's for me, that's the most heartbreaking part, is the youngsters. You see the potential in them, right? You see they have all the tools to really do something with it, right? But they don't have the financial backing at home to just stay at home. They get jobs, and then eventually they start coming to training a little bit less, a little bit less, a little bit less. They need to move out. They want to buy cars, and then just fade away. That's the truth, right? The second type of people there is people who make it to the middle of the pack, all right? They get 5-0, 6-0, 7-0 pro, all right? And they're able to balance work and training, but then they get to that high-level competition, right, where it's just like, yo, your competition you're facing is like real high. You got to put a lot more time and effort into training to beat this dude. I mean, but you just can't take the time off from work, or you can't afford to take the time off from work, or your job won't give you the time off from work. I mean, and then so you go into that fight, and you end up losing because the amount of effort you need to put in to win that fight and time and training, you just weren't able to do it because you had other priorities with work to support yourself. All right, so that's where we're at with that. People are just falling off like flies. I guess my presentation isn't that good. But anyway, so that's where we're at with that for the middle of the pack. And then they end up losing 2 or 3 fights, and they get discouraged, and they fade away. So that's the middle of the pack. So the beginning, the middle, then the end. Someone like me who have a good career, to get to 10-1, 11-1, 13-1. They have a prestigious career, a good career. But at the end of the tunnel, there's just nothing to show for it. All right, retired at 33. Number 4 ranked, second major organization in the world, sleeping in the gym. All right. And then a lot of them, like, they go on to this, actually despise the sport a bit because they spend so much time and effort to the sport to have nothing to show for it at the end of it. They end up almost like hating it. Yesterday, I was on the beach with Josh Gentleman Hill. He was ranked number 3 in Bellator, right? He just fought over in Belarus. He's 37 now, so he's the end of his career. So I was speaking to him. I was like, so is that it, man? He's like, yeah, I'm thinking I'm going to do one more. I'm like, so what's next? And what's the plan next? You're gonna open a gym? He's like, I tried that, didn't work out. I'm like, so what's next? He's like, I don't know, man. He's just like, it's been such a grind mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically. He's like, I don't know, man. I don't even know if I want anything to do with it anymore. I just move on. Right? And that's heartbreaking because this guy was ranked number 3 in Bellator. I think he's 27 and through 5 or 6. So he got 35 some career fights, and then he's just going to disappear from the sport. Right? Because it just didn't pay off for him, right? And he didn't have the skill set to set himself up for the end of his career to transition neatly over into a career, having a gym, a studio gym. And he didn't make enough money to be financially stable that he can just be like, okay, I'm going to just invest in opening a gym and still love the sport, all right? So that's the biggest problem we're dealing with here, right? So my solution I'm offering, so the next stage, right, is freedom, flex, and flexibility, right? The structure I'm giving you, I'm willing to show you guys how to set up. It's going to allow you freedom and flexibility, 2 things that you need, I mean, if you want to take competition seriously, right? So I'm going to teach you how to be a coach and a trainer, and eventually at the end of your career, if you want to go this route, how to open up your own studio gym like me. I'm going to allow you to work the least amount of hours for the most amount of pay. So I like to work 3 hours a week, right? So if you're still living at home and you have no overheads, working 3 hours a week, you will make more than enough money to pay for gear, food, just any expenses, and still save. So when a big fight camp comes around, you have something in the back. So I can say, hey, I'm taking the next 6 weeks off just to focus on training, knowing that you have that financial backing to do so confidently. All right. So that's a solution I'm offering. I'm teaching how to build a brand, right, guys? Like if you're gonna be in the fight game, like I'm a 40-year-old retired mixed martial artist, right? And with a studio gym in the middle of nowhere, all right? And I make more money from sponsorship now as I did as the number 4 ranked welterweight at the 2nd largest organization in the world, all right? So because you see someone on TV and stuff, right? Don't assume like they're not. I know they're making breadcrumbs, all right? All right. So all because I was able to build a brand, all right? So you want to start building your brand early, all right? And the earlier you do that, it's gonna trickle down a compound effect across the board, all right? So I'm going to help you, teach you the ropes of how to start building your brand, all right? Again, and also a perk about this route, it's allowed you to stay in the gym doing something that you love, you're passionate about, and coaching too, guys. When you start coaching, you start picking up on a lot of little details that you never knew existed, which actually makes you a better fighter, right? Because you're teaching someone, explaining something like, I didn't even know that mattered, but yeah, turn the hip over there, timing that. So you're doing something you love, staying within your profession, something that's going to just compound across the board, all right? The truth is a lot of fighters end up being construction workers, balancers, security guards, working night shift or some kind of trade, construction, stuff like that. So something where you don't have to think much, right? And I did night work because I can allow myself, I did bartended for like 5 years while I was going through my career, so I can train during the day, right? But by the end, it burns you out, right? Where you have to work 10, 20, 30, 40 hours a week, and the amount of energy you need to put into working, by the time you get to training, by the end of the week, you're just dead, all right? I'm telling you, even if you didn't reach that limit now, when you get to high level competition, that's how it's going to feel, all right? You're going to be self-employed, all right? So the route I'm going to teach you guys, you're going to be self-employed, all right? And so you don't have to ask for time off. You take time off when you need time off, right? You don't have to answer to anyone, right? And there's no better feeling than working for yourself, or you're in control, you're in charge, all right? Again, it's going to help you building your brand is going to help you when the time comes to get sponsorship, all right? No, anyone watched the fights last night? Leon Edwards and Bilal Muhammad, right? What brand did he have? Any one of those fighters have on their shirt? All right. So a lot of fighters go to brands, sponsorship. Hey, 2,000 people are gonna see you at my fight with your brand on my shirt. No one chooses watching your brand of a shirt walking down the aisle for 30 seconds. No one cares, right? And that's the offer that you go to a sponsorship to make, right? 95, all the fighters I talk to, that's what they said, right? But if you didn't know what the championship fight on UFC, what they had on their shirt last night, well, who's going to know what's on your shirt, right? I mean, but for them, you have to remember you're going to approaching a business, all right? A business. But if you go to them, they're like, hey, I create content. I have 20,000 people who follow me, right? On a daily basis, I post content 2 or 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, whatever the number is a week, right? Your target market men ages 25 to 35, right? 10,000 people are going to see that my content weekly. They're like, all right. But now you know, because you know business, you know it's going to cost them 50 US to reach 1,000 people through advertising. So now you go in there confident with your argument. Hey, sponsor me because I'm gonna get to reach your target audience for pay me instead of the target. You're gonna reach a much broader audience, your target audience through me than paying the platform itself, right? So you're going there with a strong argument, right? Knowing that you're reaching their target audience, and you're gonna be the type of person they're gonna want to work with. All right, that's how I've been able to do what I'm doing now. All right, so 20,000 people. I walk down a little logo on your shirt. All right, 2,000 people at my event for 30 seconds, or on a weekly basis, I'm reaching your target audience, 20,000 people. Strong audience. The sponsors are going to work with you. You're going there confidence. They get what they want out of it. You get what you want about. And then teams of promotions. When you want to get bigger and better fights, right? It's just like Jake Paul, right? He runs the biggest boxing events in the world, right? And he's not even that great a special of a boxer, but he has an audience, all right? So you go to a promoter, even if you're 0-3, 0-4, be like, hey, I have 20,000, 10,000 people who follow me. 1% is going to pay $10 to watch my fights. You know what I mean? You're talking 100 people. That's an extra $1,000 for the promotion. Now you're talking business terms. Be like, 0-3, come fight on my card. You're making us money, right? So you go in there with a business approach, and that's going to allow you. Now you'll be able to choose, and you have an argument which promotions you want to fight on, all right? So the compounding effect of taking this route that I'm willing to teach you guys is going to help you in every direction of the game, right? Make more money, work less hours, give you more training time, help you get sponsors, help you get on better promotion, help you get bigger fights, better fights, right? And work less hours, keep you in the gym, doing something you love, and at the end of the tunnel, transitions out, right, into a career that you can do for the rest of your life and provide for your family. If someone came to me with that, telling me that 10 years ago, I'd be like, where do I sign? All right. So it's crazy that we have like 5, 6 people here today when I'm solving the biggest problem that you guys are going to face. I'm telling you guys who are taking my advice here today, jump into the program. All right. And I'm going to show. So why am I doing this now? All right. So we're going on to the next stage of this is because I think I'm in the best position to do this. All right. Like in terms of accomplishments in career, in terms of finances after career, all right, and in terms of being able to teach the course, all right, I don't think you can find someone more qualified than me who has had a better career than me, all right, who makes more money than me, all right, and also teaching the class, offering the service. I think I'm probably the only one in the world going to do this. What they call it, one of one. All right. So not to brag, but this is why I'm doing it now. I think it's the biggest thing I can give back to fighters in the position that I'm in now. All right. That's going to help you across all spectrums. All right. And also for me, it's the most heartbreaking thing, right? It's to watch fighters just fade away, right? Like, I don't want to name any names, but I've worked with so many gifted athletes along the way. Right? And to watch them just now be security guards, like I use the example, right? One of my heroes growing up, silver medalist, Pan American Games, silver medalist, Commonwealth Games, right? Fought Deontay Wilder on ESPN, right? Like this guy is one of the reasons I got into combat, right? Last time I saw him, he was a security guard at a grocery store. Now this guy knows how to set traps for combos. This guy, the knowledge he knows about boxing, world-class boxing, but he just doesn't have the skills, right, to get people to pay for that service. And that's what business is, right? So a lot of fighters think they're just going to think, oh, I had a great career. I'm just going to be a personal trainer. I'll start holding pads to people, and people are going to come buy my service, right? Doesn't work for that like that. A lot of people, a lot of fighters find out that the very, very, very hard way, right? I don't want that to be you, man. Like, so take what I'm teaching you seriously, and it could change the direction of your entire life. All right, so guys, talk about the opportunity, right? Now we're going to get into, right? So what I'm going to do is, like, since there's like no one really here, but whoever's here and wants to do it, just write me a message of your current occupation, right? How many hours a week you work right now, right? why you think you would be a good fit for the program, or why you'd be don't want to do this. And I'm going to, over the next 4 weeks, right, I'm going to work with you one-on-one to get this ship started, right? So I'm going to help you get your first 5 clients, all right? I'm going to help you start building your brand, all right? And by the end of the 4 weeks, you should have a testimonials from these clients that you work with, referrals from these clients that you work with, to testimonials, referrals, and social proof that the product that you're offering, that the service you're going to be offering to people, it works, all right? So those are the big 3 that we're going to look to have at the end of this 4 weeks, all right? At the end of these 4 weeks, all right, these clients, hopefully, if you do this right, all these clients are going to become paying clients, all right? So I'm going to help you in the next 4 weeks to get this ship started, right? All I want out of it is the same. See, what I'm doing is the same thing I'm asking you to do. At the end of it, I want to have a testimonial that the stuff I taught you worked, all right? The results of how it worked for you. So you went from making X amount of money from coaching training to making this amount of money. So now I know, and then I want honest feedback after every single session we do together of what do you think I did good? What do you think I can do better? And what you would like to see moving forward. And that's how you make progress. Just like your fighting career, right? It's like you're training. Every day you go to training, you should ask yourself at the end of training, what I did good today, what I can do better, right? And what I want to do, what I want to work on next time. Every session should end like that, right? Otherwise, you're not making progress. You're just spinning wheels around a barrel, right? So that's how you make progress. So the same test that I'm going to do with you guys, I'm going to ask to do with your clients. So at the end of the 4 weeks, I should have my testimonials. I should have my referrals if you guys think I deserve one. I should have honest feedback so I continue to improve and make this better for you guys. All right. You should have with your clients. All right. So that's the opportunity I'm offering to you guys. So the next step would just be just send me a link. It's not much of you. Like I said, we had 105 people sign up. I expected at least 50 to show up. But again, technical difficulties, stepping stones, learning curve is one of the hardest things you're going to pay, which I'm going to help you guys. Right. So just send me an email or just send me a message on this group or to this forum saying, hey, I want to join up. And then I'll send you a list of details, all right? Lastly, we're going to end with the last little note. So, guys, what's the alternative, right? What is the alternative, right? If you're not willing to try my route, right, what are you going to do, right? You're going to be a bartender. How are you going to pay for your career, right? You're going to have to pay. I'm telling you now, you're not going to be able to just work and live at home until you become a professional and top 3% fighters in the world. It's not going to happen for 97% of you. Right? It's not going to happen, right? What's the alternative? Right? You want to work 40 hours a week, 30 hours, 20 hours a week, 10 hours a week, or would you rather work 3 hours a week, all right, to make a decent income if you have no overheads? Now, the nice thing about the way I structure this is if you want to scale up, if you need to make more money, you can work 6 hours a week. If you need to make more money, 9 hours a week. But if you're working 20 hours a week, you know what I mean, you'll be making like legit a lot, right? Like a lot. But it's going to take time, all right, to get that social proof to be able to have that amount of clientele, all right? But we're going to get the ball rolling, all right? So what's the alternative, all right? Take my advice. No matter what, you win, all right? Because at the end of it, you're going to have the business skills, the business sense, the structure, all right, to transition neatly from a fighter into a high-paying coach, trainer. And if you want to, you can go studio gym like me, or you can go large-scale gym. I stopped at studio gym because I like being on the floor. I like coaching. I don't like admin work. Like I went really big and I had a really big gym with like lots of clients, but you spend so much time doing admin work that drives me nuts. I'd rather make less income and be happier, but I can show you if you want to take that next level, how to do it. I know exactly how to go to run a big gym, right? So I can just walk you through the entire process, all right? No matter where you're at in your career, I'm going to be able to help you. All right, guys, so that's the presentation. If you decide that you want to do this, you're going to need some stuff. All right, it's going to cost you about $100 US Canadian investment, right? What you're going to need is 10 folders like this. All right, it's a hardcover folder. All right, you're going to need a printer. And if you want to buy one, if you have access to one, you're going to need access to one, right? Pen and paper, of course. All right, a social media page. All right, one channel, one product. All right, one channel, one product, one avatar. All right, when you're starting off. So you can just choose TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, whatever that platform is that you like to use. I suggest you use the one that you like, that you actually use the most, right? Because you know the most about it, you know like how it works. So you're gonna need a social media page. You're gonna need a scale, a weight scale, all right, and you're gonna need a phone, right, something to record video and take pictures and stuff on. So you're gonna need 10 folders, a printer, printing paper, social media page, a scale, a weight scale, and a cell phone to record and post on social media. So if you have those things, you have access to those things, and you want to join, again, I was going to take 10, but we only have, so I'm going to run this again. So I want to get at least 10 people in the program before I start running it. I'll think about it. Maybe we can just start with 2 people, because then you guys will get like super personal attention. You think there's no way, I'll make sure you don't freaking fail at this, right? You know, I have to fly down there and do the work myself. But anyway, so it's going to be an 8-step process. All right. I'm going to teach you. We're doing a post, a call to action and I'm going to show you how to do the pitch exactly and you're going to show me the pitch to make sure that it's a good pitch before you post on your social media page. So I'm going to give it the okay. Yeah, that's going to get you some clients. All right. We're going to make an offer. We're going to train 5 clients for free, the same way I'm doing offering training you guys for free. This is going to be our case study, right? Before you start selling a service, you want to make sure that the service that you're offering is a good one, all right? Reputation is everything, right? All right, so you're going to do this for free. So it's going to cost you 5 weeks of free work, 4 weeks of free work, all right? But it's going to be 3 hours a week, all right? And I'm going to be helping you, all right? So it's going to be 12 hours of free time you're going to have to allocate for free. By the end of it, all right, you're going to ask for an exchange you want a testimonial, all right? You want honest feedback after every class. It's a 2-minute, 1-minute session of what you think that you can do better, what you think you did, what they thought you did good, what you can do better, and what they would like to see next time. All right. So you want a testimonial, honest feedback, a referral if they think you deserve one. All right. And a before and after picture. All right. So that's what you're offering in exchange for training them for 4 weeks for free. That's what you want in return. All right. And there's going to be a contract for this. All right. And so that's what we're going to offer. So call to action. So after you get the call to action, you're going to call these people we call warm leads, all right? So anyone who showed interest, anyone who liked your post or liked your page, you're going to DM them, all right? And you're going to send, hey, you're not going to ask them directly, all right? You ask indirectly. Hey, do you know anyone who you think who could benefit from going through a 4-week fight camp where I'm going to help them build muscle, burn fat, feel great, and build confidence, all right? So if they are interested, if they're the one interested, they'll be like, hey, I'm interested in that. All right. But it's a lot when you ask if you know anyone who'll be interested. All right. It's a lot gentler way to approach. And then if they do know someone, they will help them, because now they can offer something to their friends for free that's beneficial to them. So we'll go all in this in detail. I'll show you exactly step by step how to structure this. All right. So anyway, so you're going to call them. We're going to get them into a meeting, all right? And that's where our sales process will begin. And we show you something called a closer system. You're going to have to fill in a questionnaire. And that questionnaire is going to hit pain points. It's going to make them feel like, hey, I really do need this help, all right? And I'm going to show you exactly the questionnaire you need to give them, all right, to hit those pain points. Then we're going to use something, the closer system. That's called the closer system framework, all right? So you're going to get to know what they did before and all that stuff. We go all this in detail, all right? So by the end of it, I have an 80% close rate, right? So 80% of people, like 8 out of 10 people who come into my gym end up signing up for a high premium package, right? I deal with a semi-private gym. That's where I'm at now in my career. So anyone who leaves my gym doesn't leave here spending less than 600 Canadian, right? But it's going to take you time and stages to get there, right? And 8 out of 10 people leave here, right, paid in full. So I'm telling you, the program system works. Anyway, so that's what we're going to offer, the sales process. After the sales process, you go into sign a contract. And then before that, it's a free training, right? But you want them we'll go into this in a lot more details, right? If you give someone something for free, right, they normally don't take it seriously, right? Because it's like they went in there emotional, like I want to lose weight, but when it actually comes to time to training and stuff like that, it's like I don't feel like training today. I'm not going to show up. It's free. So there's 2 routes we're going to do this, right? I'm going to go a lot more. Just either take a down payment. Hey, I'm taking a $100 down payment. All right. If you're late to practice, I take off $10. I'm doing this for free. I want something out of it. I want to make sure you get the results you want. All right. because that's what matters to me, showing that my program works to get results, all right? So if you're late to train, I take off $10. If you miss a training session, I take off 15 or 20 bucks, all right? And so that way they're invested and they're betting on themselves, right? And the nice thing about it, when they do show up, they go through your program, they get the results, so win-win. They get the results they want, they get their money back, you get your testimonials and everything, right? But if you really feel like someone can't afford it, like, but you still want to work with them, what you're going to do is ask them to be a brand ambassador. Hey, I need you to have some kind of investment in the game to make sure you show up. So at least if you can't make it for the down payment, hey, at least after every training session, post a picture of you, all right, with a smile, just saying thumbs up, great training session with Joash or Joshua today, right? So that way you're still getting some kind of brand building off it. But we're going to go a lot more into detail as we go along with this. I told you, I've done this so many times that I've thought of every single structure for this, right? Like, all right, you're going to sign the contract, train for 4 weeks. Then after that, you actually go into the actual training and you collect all the data. And then at the end of this 4 weeks, because you're getting feedback for these people at the end of every class should be aiming in direction. So by the end of this 4 weeks, these people should be coming to that class and they love the class because you listen to what they want, how you want to be trained, what they want. So by the end of this training, this should be the perfect class fit for them. So you'd be like, all right, guys, how do you enjoy the session? We got the before and after pictures. You got great results. You lost 20 pounds in 4 weeks. You feel good. You looked amazing. You put on some muscle. You look great. You know what I mean? So guys, I have what I want, but now I'm going to start charging, all right? But because you guys are my first clients, all right, I'm going to give you guys half off if you commit for the next 3 months for me, all right? But the way we're going to price anchor this, your discounted price is still going to make you enough, all right, to what you want to make. Right? It's the way you make the offer, all right? And then referral. So now you're going to get referrals too, right? And you're going to say, if you think I deserve one, if you listen to their feedback and you adjust the classes to give them what they want, they're going to have a great class at the end, a great experience. They're going to give you a referral. Now with these referrals, they're going to be what we call warm leads, right? So you're going to either do two things with them. You can either start a second class if you want to make more income, all right? Or we start what we call a waiting list, right? Now you have a supply and demand chain, right? And that's what business is, right? If you have a high supply of something but low demand, you have no cost is down. If you have high demand for something, all right, and low supply, like yourself, you only one of you, but everybody wants to train you, now you can raise your prices. That's where I've gotten where I'm at today, right? Like if I say I have an opening tomorrow, there is no opening. I just send out an email. Hey, who wants it? You guys, like, I have a list in order, right? So if you don't take it, you have 24 hours to jump in the spot. Otherwise, I'm going to offer to the next person, right? This is where you want to be, where you want to get to, right? This is where you're in control of your business, right? If someone leaves today, it's not like next month is going to be a soft month because he left. It's like, no, I have 20 other people lined up willing to take that spot, right? It's business, right? So that's it. So those are going to be the 8 steps you're going to take for the lessons. And then within that is going to be 18 principles that make this whole structure work. I'm not going to go into all that right now. But the last thing I want to end with, guys, is before we go into the Q&A, is community, right? So even if you don't do this program, all right, why I want to start this community, why I think it's important to join a community. I used to be a correctional officer, right? For 2 years, the only 2 years I actually wasn't on the floors during COVID because all the gyms flew, right? So I became a correctional officer, right? And I was around a lot of prisoners, right? And I'm watching some of these guys, like some of these guys are so freaking smart, man. And so like some of the guys are crushing it, selling their phone calls, selling like they buy stuff and sell it back at a higher price. Like they're entrepreneurs, right? It just happened to be that the community that they're involved was selling an illegal product. That's how they found themselves in jail, right? Now I'm thinking, you put that guy in a gym to sell for me, that guy would have, right, had the gym loaded with clients because he has the mindset. The community matters, right? So that's why I want to start this community. So people, like when you start talking about, I want to be a world champ, like when I used to tell that to people, they used to like, oh, okay, laugh at me, right? Like they don't understand the mindset. They don't understand the grind. They don't understand the sacrifice, right? But now if you're in this community with us, all right, even if you're not taking the program, right? And you say, hey, last night was a grind or a fight coming up in 6 weeks. I want a weight cut, and I need to. Anyone has suggestions about training camp, how I structure my training? You're just around like-minded people who understand, speak your language, right? So it's important to be around that community. So that's why I'm starting this community now. So even if you don't want to do the course or anything like that, I'm going to be going on here daily, just giving advice, tips, live sessions, workouts, right? And really, what I really want to do is, I'm in the last phase, right, of my business journey, right? Where I want to start my own community. I don't have to rely on the logarithm of Instagram. I don't want a third party. I want to have my own people, my own community where I can jump onto and talk to. When I post something, I know they're going to see it. It's not going to get sent to 10% of my audience and all that crap nonsense, right? People who like my stuff, want my stuff, get to see it when I do it, all right? And that's what it's all about, and that's the final stage. I think I covered everything. Sorry, that was a lot. I had something I want to talk about, the ejection. Oh, the ejection overview. I think, did I talk about this? So some people might say that this, Dwayne, that works great in your area, and you can charge 100 Canadian per session because you live in a prestigious neighborhood in Canada, a first world country, right? But I can't charge that living in Trinidad or wherever I'm living in. It's just like, dude, I have a gym in Trinidad and it works. Ask Josh Walkins. He's on here right now. 16-1 pro record. He's co-owner of the gym that we have in Trinidad, and crushing it. Right, gym is doing well. Right, if he needs to take off and fly away for a fight, he doesn't have to worry about where his next meal is coming from or the gym's shutting down. People working for him. The system's working for him. Right, and the last phase, he's reached the last phase. Right, he has his own gym, and then when you get to that system, I actually have a plug and go. Put your screen on, turn the TV on. Here's kickboxing workouts. Here's a fitness workout that's been tried and tested hundreds of times. You know they work. You just have to get someone on the floor, or you can do it yourself. All you have to do is hit play. Literally, that's how fine-tuned and pinpoint I've got the structure down now. That's it. Sorry, that's it. Cool. Again, a little disappointed. 105 people signed up for this. Only six people in here. I thought at least 50 people would be here. But guys, living business lesson. I won't take it personal. I just try again, make it better, fine-tune it. Next time we should have 10 people. Next time 20 people. Next time 30 people. But I won't quit. I have that grind, that grit in me. I have that fighter mindset that carries over into every aspect of my life. I'm gonna figure this shit out. There's other people in the world doing online courses and stuff like that. Why can't I? That's how I think about it. It's not trying to be world champion. It's just trying to share my knowledge, you guys. So that's it. I'm done. I'm coming for real. Any questions, concerns, comments? Anyone have any questions? Please.
Yeah, I have a question.
Yeah, who's this?
Joshua.
What's up, man?
Could you repeat what you said before, like what to send in the email for you?
Oh, just in a message. Send me a message saying, "Hey, my name is Joshua. I live in Trinidad. I'm currently a mixed martial arts fighter. I'm an amateur with a 1-0 record. I currently, to make a living, I'm a trainer or I'm a coach or I'm a bartender or I'm a security, whatever your profession is, and what your goals are. I like to become a professional fighter. I like to be world champion. I like to fight in UFC, and I like to be whatever your goal is. So that's basically it. Just send that in there, and then I'll reach out to you, and I'll be like, hey, you've been chosen for the program, and then we'll get on a call, and we'll get the ball rolling, man. We'll get you started.
Okay. I can send me a message on Instagram, right?
And you send it on Instagram or send it on here. Send it on here. Instagram, honestly, it's like I get hundreds of messages in there, and sometimes I don't have time. Especially if I miss a day of not answering messages, it's just like you don't open it. It's just like so many, man. It's just like that's why I want to start my own community too. So I want to answer all everyone's questions that send me messages and get back to them. I just don't have the time, man. Like for me, honestly, I have my business and I have my family, right? For me, being a dad on top and a good husband is on. That's number one for me, and then my business second. Right? I'm in a financial position and a business position now where I specifically structured it that way. The first 4 years of your kid's life, 1 to 4 years old, is the most important for them for having a parent around. So once they both turn 4, yeah, you guys are gonna start seeing a lot more from me. I start looking a lot more with competitive athletes, and I'll start building in different directions. But for now, I send it on here just to make sure I get it. Sorry, that was cool. Anybody else have any questions?
Dwayne, Jeremy on a call with me because he wasn't getting through to the webinar. Now. Yeah, we want to ask Jeremy if he'll have a recording.
If we would have a recording of this thing.
If it will have a recording of the
Yeah, I recorded the whole thing, so I'll post it on the group so everyone gets to see it. Yeah, for sure, 100%. So the whole thing's recorded and everyone gets to see it inside.
All right, cool.
Thanks, Dwayne. Thank you.
Bye, Maddie. Have a great evening. Thanks for coming in. Anybody else have anything? It could be just fight related, right? Any questions? Even about the fight last night. Yeah, I didn't. I really didn't like. So okay, if you guys need to go, you can go. Like that was the end of the meeting. But if you guys want to sit here and talk shit a little bit, you guys watched that fight last night, Bilal Muhammad and Leon Edwards.
Yeah.
Like honestly, the fact that Leon Edwards was able to stuff Kamaru Usman's takedown so much and so good again back to he said, I blew my mind how easy Bilal was able to take him down, because Kamaru before that had like one of the best wrestlers in the game, right? It just like tells you how really freaking good Bilal is. I knew he was good, but I didn't think he was like next level wrestler. And he doesn't have the accolades of a wrestling background like Bilal. It's like GSP, right? It's like these guys, how he was so good at wrestling, I mean, without having being a 3-time national champ or a Division I wrestler. And it was mind-boggling, man. Like how easy, like I mean, especially when he dropped him on his head like that, I was like, what? Yeah, so.
Well, he trained with the best of the best in the world to be by them. So
again, your community, right? The people you surround yourself with, right? Like, unfortunately, I won't be able to give you that coach, but when it comes to business sense, helping you like, which is going to be the number one thing to affect your life when it comes to outside of actual training. I mean, this is what this community is all about, and I really think, I mean, like I said earlier, you guys missed it earlier, but if you know someone who's accomplished more than me in their career, retired higher than the number 4 ranked welterweight in the second largest organization in the world, 1FC, right? Well, did boxing across the board too. Did boxing, judo, BJJ, wrestling, across all these different arts, right? And on top of that is now financially successful as me, right? And on top of that, has a course that teaches about finances, right? Like, and I say when I came up with this concept, it's one of one. I don't think anybody else in the world is qualified as me and doing it as well. People might be more qualified. Like, I'm sure someone runs a bigger, better financial league gym, and they accomplish more than me in their career. But do they have the time, or are they taking time away from their life to teach fighters about financial planning? I don't think so. Right? So this is why I think my information is unique. My approach is unique, and what I have to offer is completely unique. Anybody else have anything? No? All right, guys. Well, thanks for taking your time and hearing me out and listening. Again, the reason I'm so passionate about this is because I know it is going to be the number one problem that most fighters going to run into is financial struggles. I mean, like I said, you might have it figured out now. You know what I mean? You might have, you might be fighting and working and everything's balanced. I mean, but if you're getting good, if you get to 6-0, 7-0, 9-1, 10-1, and you get to those high level fights, you're gonna have to say F work and everything's got to go into training, right? Are you in position to do that? Are you in position? Do you have the financial back end savings to do that? Or do you have the business structure to say, hey, I'm going to take the next 6 weeks off, 8 weeks off, and just completely focus 100% of my time in training? If not, if you're not in position to do that, or you don't have someone to guide you to do that, I think this course is going to be for you. Or I think this community is going to be for you.
Quick question.
Yeah.
My connection dropped, but what forum or what platform are we to message you on?
This message, right? So this is a group. You're now in a part of community. Just message me on here. I say if you send it to me on Instagram, I try my best to get to all of them on a daily basis. But if I miss a day, it gets really overflooded, and I'll end up missing a lot, right? So on here, for sure, 100%, I'll see it and I'll get it.
Okay. Thanks.
Cool. Josh, anything? Josh, you there? I guess he's out. All right, guys, that's it for me. The recording's up. If you want to rewatch it from the beginning, missed it from the beginning, I'm gonna post it on the group. All right, so you guys can watch the whole thing from the beginning to end. And I hope everyone has a good evening, safe training. Train hard, play hard. All right, guys. Just look, listen, learn, grind. All right, it's the only way to get better. All right, guys, have a good night. Peace.
Good night.
The